All right, you guys, I've had some real heads-on time with the Oculus Quest, so it's time for me to give you my thoughts on this device, but it is still in early days. It's still evolving as a new piece of consumer technology and as a new entree into virtual reality, and I think it's probably one of the smartest things that Oculus has done, and I tweeted this a little while ago after I'd had a bunch of hours with the headset on my head, is that I wish that VR in its current sort of state had started with the Oculus Quest. I think it would have been a lot easier to get people excited about this as, an emergent medium if we had technology that was so unencumbered as the Quest is. You just take it out of the box, you charge it up, you stick it on your head. You might have to adjust where the positioning of the lenses are for your eyeballs, but the audio actually comes right from the headset itself. You don't have to put big cumbersome headphones on or anything like that add to the weight on your noggin. You've just got your screen, it's got cameras pointing out, and you've got your two Oculus Touch controllers in your hands, which are fantastically designed. It's not just about shooting and pointing and you actually can pick up stuff, and because of all of the different button configurations, it actually feels like you're squeezing and grabbing stuff with these controllers. So incredibly designed. And that's it, man. You are off to the races in VR land, and it's incredible. And the remarkable way that the hardware and the software work together to kind of get you into VR is just an amazing experience unto itself. Putting the Guardian down on the floor and making sure that you're not walking past it and walking into furniture. And if you happen to pass through the grid-based sort of system that they put up for you, they will immediately cut to some black and white kind of grainy horror movie video to show you that, no, you're getting too close to your flat screen, you're going to scratch it with your Oculus Touch, so don't do that. I think that's just brilliant. Honestly, I feel like that should be a part of every piece of VR going forward, whether it's tethered or not, because whether you're tethered or not, you're gonna trip or run into something or potentially kill yourself when you lock off all your field of view and your vision like that, so why not put camera sensors on there? So that was brilliant. The sensors on the headset itself take all the data in and create the sensor information to give you 6 degrees of freedom when you're in the Oculus Quest headset. So that means you can look everywhere and you can move anywhere and you can come back into your space. And when you're playing a game like Beat Saber and it's not just slashing to the rhythm of the music and looking like a super badass, super cool person as you're dancing, and super cool. People all around you just thinking, wow, is that person cool, dancing and slicing. You won't even care about that shit because you're having so much fun in Beat Saber. Beat Saber's incredible. But not only are you slicing and hacking and stabbing, but you're also dodging walls and ducking under things, and all of that is competently registered within the headset, and it's phenomenal. Games like Vader Immortal, where you're actually having to lightsaber through different challenge sequences and interact with spaceship stuff. You're walking around inside of a spaceship and pressing buttons. It's so cool. Robo Recall, where you're teleporting to different vantage points, and you're not just shooting at robots that are coming at you in just the most realistic light gun shooter way, but you're actually dodging and stepping out of the way and grabbing them and ripping them apart and throwing them. It really immerses you in experiences like that. Even Angry Birds, where you're picking up a slingshot and you're kind of shooting birds at different constructions and watching them all topple. We've all played Angry Birds in some variation or another, but it's a whole other thing when you're in virtual reality and you can zip around the object and look at it from different angles and different perspectives. And the fact that you don't have to adjust anything and you're in that world is really what's remarkable. There's actually quite a bit of content already available in the store. There's lots of games. There's lots of pieces of software that will allow you to watch VR-enabled video. There's interactive art experiences and stuff in there. Some of it has been tailored and tapered to the specs of the Oculus Quest because it doesn't quite have the horsepower or the resolution that you're going to get in other devices like the Oculus Rift. But what's exciting about this is that it kind of becomes a very palatable presentation to someone that's on the fence around VR. They don't have to buy a computer. They don't even have to buy a PlayStation 4. They don't have to buy anything else to experience some pretty damn close to state-of-the-art VR experiences. And that's what's so impressive about this device. It comes in a couple of price points and memory configurations. You can go up to 128 gigabytes. You're going to be spending a little bit more. It's $400 US, which is not cheap, but the issues around the Quest really stem from the fact that we've had a taste of better resolution and better fidelity from other VR headsets like the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift, and now they've got the Rift S out there. But of course, those systems are cabled to computers, and that's a drag. It's a drag to have to put up sensors to be able to get your body data and transmit that back into the software in an accurate way. You don't have to do any of that with the Oculus Quest. Now, I don't think that the Quest is perfect. I think that because all of the circuitry and componentry and the magic of the Quest is in the headset, it means that the headset's a little bit heavy, and you can strap it and tighten it and put it as much under your head as you want to, but it's still going to kind of lean forward a little bit because of all of the stuff that's in there. And it also made some pretty big indentations in my face. I had big red marks in my face after playing this for a few hours. But that's the thing, it's pretty hard to take off. It's really compelling content. It's pretty hard to just say, okay, I'm done. You get really sucked in, and the freedom is part of the invigoration. But be prepared for your face to get a little red and your hair to get super messy and for you to get quite sweaty. You might want to have the appropriate cleaning items around you if you're going to be sharing this with family members or friends or whatever. It will get you hot and bothered. And I also did find that sometimes I lost a little bit of tracking, and like I was playing Creed, and for some reason I got too close to the punching bag, and then the world just went woo, and it's always weird when you're inside VR and something goes wrong and everything gets broken and shaken around like that, and you're like, what the hell is happening? Yeah, and that's like, okay, can't play that anymore, you gotta take that off. But I didn't find that too often, and I think what's gonna happen is that as software makers get a little bit more accustomed to this hardware, it's gonna get tighter and tighter. I don't think the Quest is VR in finished form. I don't think it is, you know, this is it, this is as good as it's ever going to be. I think what this is, honestly, is this is the first real, tangible, accessible, you know, easy to express VR choice for a lot of people. And it's super fun, especially when you pair it with something like Beat Saber, which is a sublime experience. I don't know if this is going to be the massive major unit seller that is going to change the majority of people's opinion around VR. I think everybody kind of looks at it and goes, oh, that's really cool, but it's expensive, or there's too many things in it, or I look dorky when I have all that stuff on, so I'm going to kind of wait a little while. I don't think Quest necessarily changes that whole sort of public perception, but I think it gets us the closest we've been to making that change, and it's the easiest sell for anyone. This is definitely one where I feel like I've wanted to bring this with me, you know, where I'm seeing friends and things. And I have done that. I brought it into the EP live set just so Johnny could take a look at it, and we had him playing it on set. That's what's cool about Oculus Quest. It's one to share, and it's one to easily jump right into. And I think, honestly, for all the technology that you get, the price is right. Even in Canada, which when you do the conversion, it ends up costing over $500 for this, I still think that's a lot of technology, and you're going to have a lot of fun jumping into these games. I'm going to give the Oculus Quest, from what I've seen so far, a 9 out of 10.